People interact with many things in their day-to-day lives: transportation, housing, electricity, and food, to name a few. Today, however, we'll be focusing on corporations, communities, and the individuals themselves to find potential ways to make them more green. The goal is to decrease their carbon dioxide output, which is currently 60% of the U.S. total. That's 6,340 million tons of greenhouse gases. So what can you do? Individuals can lower their carbon footprint by carpooling or using public transportation and not wasting electricity or water. Additional things we could do is to limit our use of single-use plastics.
Your purchase of fast fashion by thrifting and mending.
As well as using natural and renewable alternatives to harmful things such as cleaning products. People can also make changes to their property, such as installing solar panels or changing their lawns into gardens, or make another choice that doesn't require quite as much water.
Research shows that the backyard gardens very much help supporting the bees and the butterflies and all the other insects that we consider important in terms of keeping our ecological system going. Now, what is important about the gardening part of it is that, again, if you're incorporating the native flora, then you're doing two very positive things. You're benefiting the natural life around you, and you're doing good things for yourself. So if we're talking about the big words of climate change, you're doing your little bit of going in the opposite direction. Container gardening is very much a simple and easy option. You can use grow bags, you can use small raised beds. If you have a space that is open to the sun and you are very comfortable with getting your hands dirty, it's very rewarding all around.
Thing that you can do is join your local environmental hub like Sunrise Bergen, but again, you can also make micro changes in your own daily lifestyle, again, like a more plant-based diet, using less plastic, things like that. But I really think the best way to help the environment is to get involved in something where you can make a bigger impact beyond just your own actions.
Essentially, green practices and habits must be an integral part of American life. One way we can move towards that is community gardens.
Community gardens provide good use of empty land and food, which, in being locally sourced, reduces energy needed to transport goods. Other things that can be done locally are establishing a compost collecting service along with the typical paper, plastic, and garbage collecting, as well as creating systems to reduce waste by salvaging unwanted surplus from companies, offices, or grocery stores. Creating infrastructure that works with and for the environment, as well as green city planning, are all things that can be done at a community level that would greatly benefit the environment. Certain states have made a lot of progress in the switch to renewable energy.
Just last year, the American Clean Power Association reported that over 50% of Iowa's electricity is generated by renewable sources, ranking it the highest in the United States. Clean energy sources, including renewable fuels, organic materials, wind, and solar, create affordable electricity and power our transportation sector. Additionally, alternative energy sources bring jobs and revenue while allowing the United States to remain a global leader in energy production.
The main issue really is the bigger corporations. It's really hard to be environmentally friendly when your daily necessities aren't. And so again, a lot of this pressure is on these bigger corporations for them to make the moves rather than it being on a singular each person basis.
Companies need to significantly reduce the amount of single-use plastic they are putting onto the market and offer consumers plastic-free choices for their products. Unfortunately, companies aren't doing enough, and that's why we need your help. Policies governing the production and use of single-use plastic are effective, and these policies are becoming more common around the world and across this country.
Whenever possible, products should be made of recycled or alternative material. To encourage companies to do so, a seal, like that currently used by the USDA for organic certification showing the consumer just how much recyclable material is in them, should be prominently displayed on the product. We recommend something known as a carbon tax. Companies will pay this tax based on a percentage of the amount of carbon and greenhouse gases they produce. This will both discourage a larger carbon footprint and also generate revenue. That money can then be used to further the environmental alternatives we talked about before, like clean energy, community gardens, and more comprehensive recycling programs. These efforts are all about getting companies to go carbon neutral. While on the subject, large tech manufacturers should allow the right to repair over the replacement of broken or damaged components. We can't ignore the evidence before our eyes. The time to take action is now. This seed of an idea can germinate into something really positive for our future.
We must never settle for a dying planet. Don't give up hope. We can change the future.